PS4 Pro, we're giving developers an opportunity to make their games more impactful and immersive.
What excites me the most about the PS4 Pro is that it will allow our world to become more alive than before.
When something like this comes along, all of a sudden people just sort of stop and stare, even the people working on it.
With PS4 Pro, for all new titles, we're asking the developers to support 4K with higher resolution graphics and also HD TVs through higher quality graphics.
When you see it in 4K, it just kind of takes your breath away. It's very, very immersive.
Even if you don't have a 4K monitor and you buy the PlayStation 4 Pro, there's still a lot of benefit to that because even the non-4K version that's downsampled to 1080p looks amazing.
The worlds themselves and the characters, everything just seems to pop a little bit more, and it's just a little bit more dynamic when you're seeing it on screen.
The lushness of the environment, the draw distance, like the feeling of being there will be much bigger.
The specular highlights, the effects, the silhouettes, the graphic fidelity, the level of detail that you're going to see in the world, that's something that you've never had before, and it just brings the world to life.
Horizon is all about nature and it's all about vistas, and with the PlayStation 4 Pro you get these incredible vistas. You can literally look for miles and see individual leaves at those distances.
The graphical fidelity of everything happening around you is a lot larger because all the assets are rendered at a much higher resolution.
We want people to be sucked into that world that we're creating. So now suddenly, the textures are higher, the quality, the visual quality is higher. Everything, everywhere you go, it's more beautiful.
The HDR is just stunning. You don't ever want to go back. You can't unsee the difference.
The colors are so rich and the level of range that you're seeing. You know, if you go into some of these darker areas and contrasted with these amazing brights, they almost seem impossibly bright, and yet the world just sort of all seems so cohesive still.
You don't need to have a HDR TV to enjoy the benefits of PS4 Pro. The new console is targeted primarily at higher fidelity graphics and smoother frame rates.
People really have an expectation now, especially if it's a fast-paced shooter, to have a really high frame rate.
Frame rate is just making things blur the lines between the game and reality. The controls are so responsive.
Now we have the PS4 Pro, and people keep coming by and they can't believe how good it looks. People gather around my desk and they know what they've built, but they can't believe that we can actually get it to look that smooth and that clean and that crisp.
With the increased power, we are now delivering a level of visual fidelity that is unprecedented on console.
This is Nintendo 3DS. As you get acquainted, you'll notice that some things are very familiar, and that some are new not only for Nintendo, but for any existing portable entertainment. Here in America, Nintendo 3DS will be available at launch in two colors, Aqua Blue and Cosmo Black. The most obvious elements are the two screens, very similar in positioning to the DSi, with the touch screen on the bottom and the 3D display on top. The touchscreen operates the same way it does for the current DS line, but Nintendo 3DS features a telescoping stylus. That top screen is about 10% larger than the one on your DSi, and even in 2D mode, it displays visuals like no portable before. Picture quality you could only enjoy on a home console until recently now travels with you wherever you go. But 3D, of course, takes it to an entirely new level. When those 3D images first appear, it's unique, and the impression doesn't go away. With Nintendo 3DS, there's backwards compatibility. The game card slot on the back will accept not only your Nintendo 3DS games, but also your Nintendo DS games, including DSi download game compatibility. And there's also an SD memory card slot. A 2 gig card comes with the system, and of course you can choose to upgrade from there. The basic controls will be familiar: A, B, X, and Y on the right, as well as the left and right buttons. On the opposing side, you'll also recognize the plus control pad. As you can see, to this point, there's no learning curve required to put Nintendo 3DS through its game paces. It works just like your current DS. But a new addition does come into play, and it's an important one, that analog circle pad just above the plus pad. From a gameplay standpoint, it opens up new worlds. It can be employed by designers for precise movement of characters, or the camera, or other innovations. Meanwhile, inside, two other elements are at work. A built-in accelerometer and gyroscope react to the motion and tilt of the system. So whether players are twisting their system side to side or moving them up and down, their motion-compatible Nintendo 3DS games respond instantly. The system is packaged with its own charging cradle, allowing the Nintendo 3DS to remain in sleep mode indefinitely. Next, here are three little things that mean a lot. Right in the center, on the bottom, is a new Home button. For Nintendo 3DS games, pressing it, even in the middle of gameplay, will pause all action and take you to the Home menu at the top. There, you'll be able to quickly switch to other applications or features while your game waits. You can just as easily switch back without losing a thing. On the upper right of the hardware, there's a notification light that signals new levels of automatic connectivity. It illuminates in 4 different ways to let you know what's been communicated. Street Pass is our name for enhanced automatic local area connection between Nintendo 3DS devices, even when they're in sleep mode. And unlike the tag mode used with some previous DS titles, data is now exchanged hardware to hardware, regardless of what game is inserted. Let me finish with the features that truly flip the page. 3D is a wonderful experience, but it doesn't work the same way for everyone. We've answered this issue with the 3D depth slider, located just right of the screen. If you want, you can even turn off the 3D altogether, and what remains is a bright, crisp 2D display. But the depth slider works to adjust 3D to any degree you like. Control is entirely customizable. And of course, it never requires you to put on a pair of those fashionable 3D glasses. This 3D is natural and fully flexible. Now, let's look at the 3 cameras. The first is inward-facing, situated just above the screen. This allows you to photograph your own image and even insert it into some games. On the outside are 2 outward-facing cameras to allow for 3D photography. While these 2 cameras let developers explore new forms of game design, they're also important in their own right. 3D photography and display is a compelling feature for every potential purchaser, whether they consider themselves gamers yet or not. Nintendo 3DS, it's a game changer.
Nintendo Switch is a home video game console. You connect it to your television to play games. But what sets it apart is when you want to play away from your TV, you can remove it from the dock, get up, and go. Attach the Joy-Con controllers and you can play anywhere. Nintendo Switch is designed to let you play games when and where you want. TV mode. TV mode is for playing games the traditional way on your television. Remove the Joy-Con from the Joy-Con grip to play in a more relaxed manner. Some games allow you to hold each Joy-Con horizontally to enjoy multiplayer gaming. Handheld mode. Attach the Joy-Con to the console and you can enjoy handheld mode. Take Nintendo Switch with you and play anywhere you like. You can play while charging the system using the included AC adapter. USB charging and other USB certified portable charging devices will work as well. Tabletop mode. By propping the Nintendo Switch up with its stand and detaching the Joy-Con controllers, you can play in tabletop mode. This allows you to share the screen with others even when you're away from your TV. Nintendo Switch can connect over Wi-Fi for multiplayer gaming. Up to 8 consoles can be connected for local wireless multiplayer. Joy-Con. Each Joy-Con includes gyroscope and accelerometer technology, so intuitive controls using movement or tilt are possible. The new HD Rumble feature allows for high-definition vibration. It can reproduce sensations and experiences in entirely new ways. The right Joy-Con has an infrared motion camera. It's able to approximate the distance to an object and what shape it is. The right Joy-Con also has NFC read and write functionality that supports Amiibo. The left Joy-Con has a capture button that allows you to snap screenshots. The ZL and ZR buttons are comfortable to reach and easy to press. There are clickable control sticks and SL and SR buttons for use when the Joy-Con are held horizontally. The Joy-Con controllers fit a lot of features into one small package.
The star of today is the Xbox One S Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order bundle. So the first thing we have in here is a code for Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, the deluxe edition of the game. What's in the deluxe edition that I happen to be looking at?
That's a great question. We have the Crimson skin for BD1, Crimson skin for the Stinger Mantis, the digital art book, and the behind-the-scenes documentary.
So we've got the deluxe edition of the game and all those other goodies, but now we need the Xbox to play it on. The Xbox One S seen here features a 1 terabyte hard drive plus 4K UHD Blu-ray drive and 4K video streaming so you can watch your movies and shows at the best quality.
So we've got the Xbox Game Pass for console, Xbox Live Gold, and then EA Access.
Become a Jedi on Xbox One S. The Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order bundle is available now.